Well, an anti-Semitic message painted on the rock now on UT's campus, stirring hurt among so many here in East Tennessee this week.
Yes, the rock has since been repainted. Vol Nation united against hatred. The new design imploring people to, quote, love thy brother.
New here at 4 o'clock, WATE 6 on your side reporter Laura Holmes sitting down with a Knoxville man who escaped the Holocaust. Laura joining us now live here in the studio. So Laura, how is he reacting?
Dr. Henry Freeberg telling me reading those words on the rock hurt. He found out about what happened through the news, and it's the same kind of hate he escaped in France when it fell to the Nazis. Their family pictures Dr. Henry Freeberg holds close to his heart.
At the age of 12, I was able to escape from France 1 week before the borders were closed and my immediate family and I could not have left. And if I had not left, instead of my being here talking to you in 2019, I would have ended up in the ovens of Auschwitz, Birkenau.
This happened because his father purchased visas so the family could move to Cuba, then immigrate to the U.S.
2 of my grandparents were murdered by the Germans during World War II, as well, of course, as many other millions.
Today, hearing that a message of hate targeting the Jewish community has happened,
I find it disgusting, despicable.
At the same time, Dr. Freeberg sees
we are in a country which has a constitution and a Bill of Rights, and we are allowed freedom of expression. Unfortunately, that allows despicable statements to be made publicly.
UT holds a special place in his heart. Dr. Freeberg retired from UT after 45 years as a member of the Plant Sciences Department. It's a part of the reason why the anti-Semitic message hurts.
I think in great part the problem with the thinking of these people is that they have not been fully educated into not just what is happening today.
And so today and every day, Dr. Freeberg says he'll share his story.
I like to talk about this to people so that we can ensure that nobody ever forgets but remembers what did happen between 1933 and 1945.
The Knoxville Jewish Alliance says anti-Semitic comments have been painted on the rock 3 times in the last 18 months. In response, there's a billboard up right now that's a religious coexist poster focusing on Knoxville against hate. It's at I-40 and James White Parkway. Guys?
We've seen that.
Yep.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. And UT plans to gather a group of students and volunteers in a work group over the next week. Their goal is to draw up specific actions when it comes to community accountability at the Rock and elsewhere on campus.
UT also sending resources to faculty members on how to have difficult conversations around the issues of racism and anti-Semitism.